2025, it's a 9 year. So if you add 2, 0, 2 and 5, it adds up to 9. And 9 in numerology is the end of the cycle. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 10, of course, is the 1, which is back to the beginning, which is the Fool's journey, the beginning of the journey again. So a 9 year, they often say it's about endings and things finishing and all the rest of it, which it is. But I guess there's two things that go along with that in my mind. One is that with every ending is a new beginning. It's a good thing to remember also that you don't have to wait for the ending, for the beginning to begin. You know, like they often say, you know, you've got to crack an egg to make an omelette, which is true, obviously. But when we're talking about sort of bigger endings and beginnings, like essentially you have to wait for the ending of the egg to begin to create the omelette. Does that make sense? But in our case, especially with this big shifty energy that we're going through, we don't have to wait for the ending to start welcoming in the new. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of exciting. And we're already seeing the new energy, the new earth coming forward, you know, more compassion, more love, more integrity, more grace, you know, and all the sort of psychic energies increasing on the planet, all that kind of stuff. The new energy is already here, you know, it's just going to be heightened. The other thing with the 9 year, and I don't actually see this talked about much, but it's sort of, I guess, my intuitive understanding of the 9 is that the 9 comes with all of the wisdom, all of the lessons, all of the learnings, all of the joys and the celebrations along the way of the 1 through 8. Do you know what I mean? So 9 does signify endings and the end of cycles, but it also has a lot of wisdom because it's gone through all of those stages from 1 to 8. Does that make sense? Yeah, so it's wise, there's wisdom, and often, I remember people saying a long time ago, one of the things to look for if you're looking for sort of mentors is a sense of humour, you know. Like, for example, the Dalai Lama, he's often giggling, you know. Yeah, so there's wisdom and there's humour there as well, like in the 9. So that's kind of exciting as well. I was listening to a bit of Pam Gregory the other day when I was weeding in the garden, and she was reminding us, because she's, of course, a very good astrologer, she was reminding us about all of the big outer planets are changing signs this year, and that's big news. They get quite excited about that in the world of astrology. I mean, I get excited too, but I don't really understand all of the ramifications of that, but she was saying in one interview I was listening to a bit of the other day that, you know, because Pam Gregory is good at kind of looking back and seeing the patterns, like, you know, when these last alignments happened and what was happening socially and culturally in those times and the parallels to now or the differences to now and that kind of stuff. And she was saying with one of these astrological alignments, or maybe the fact that all of them were changing signs. Anyway, she was saying she couldn't find another reference point for this in the past. She couldn't, it's unprecedented basically. And her and the other lady were getting quite excited. So that's nice. It's like, yeah, new beginnings. Okay, what else did I have to talk about before we get started? Big changes, get excited, heart-centered living, people power, all of that stuff. Basically, the last message they want to leave us with here is take the wisdom of the 9 and carry it through this year to stay focused with that archer's kind of pinpoint accuracy. Stay focused on your goals and bring with it the wisdom, the discernment, the trust, the joy, the laughter, and the celebration of the 9. Because new beginnings are coming at the same time, right? Yeah, that's really interesting. And it feels really exciting. You know, it's like if you just learn to bake and you suddenly get really excited about baking. You're like, oh, I can make this cake next, or I can make that, or I can make, oh, and if I can do this to this recipe, what can I do to, do you know what I mean? Like it becomes exciting because you've got, you know, the other skills or the other experience under your belt. Yeah, so again, sort of pointing us back to that Amanita card, the expanded awareness, like take advantage of this beautiful 9 year. You know, trust what you know you can trust, expand what needs to be expanded, follow your passions, and that will lead you to the tranquility, longevity, and regeneration of yourself. It's a constant renewal. That's beautiful. That's really nice.